Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, we are going to be reacting to I hid in my basement for weeks after I Googled myself. Wonder what this is going to be about. Who knows? I have no idea, but we are going to check it out and see what this is. So let's get to it.
The final bell rang, and we all simultaneously closed our books and started clearing our desks, as raucous laughter echoed through the halls. Our teacher was still talking, explaining about the paper he had assigned to us. No one was listening, though, except for Samantha, the smartest kid in our class. Also, my best friend. I smiled at her enthusiasm and followed the crowd outside towards our lockers. I stopped by my locker and was taking out books when I caught
Do you guys wonder what she possibly could have found about herself that she would hide in her basement for weeks? Comment your guesses below. Tell me what you guys think she found about herself that would make her do something like that.
sight of the boy 3 lockers down from mine. It was Lucas, and I happened to have the biggest crush on him. In fact, I had been crushing on him since middle school, but I hadn't told anyone about it. He was single at the moment, but all his ex-girlfriends had been cheerleaders. I was so not his type. Linda, are you staring at Lucas? Samantha came out of nowhere and startled me. No, not knowing what else to say. You were. Oh my God. Do you like him? Of course she does. She's always sneaking glances at him, my twin sister confirmed as she walked up to us.
Well, she even has a twin. Maybe she found her twin on Google and not her. And Samantha, she sounds a little intense, doesn't she?
Even though we are twins, we look nothing alike. She and Samantha had an athletic build, and both are cheerleaders. It's through them that I get all the hot gossip in the school about who's dating who. I, on the other hand, don't have a single athletic bone in my body. I spend all of my time reading and making sure our school newspaper rocked. I realized that I was blushing, so I started walking towards the school gates, knowing well enough that they can't follow me since they had to rush to their practice. My sister arrived home late from practice, and she was acting a little weird. I asked, "How was practice?" And she replied, "Fine." This was so not normal. Usually, she'd go on and on about it for hours. I just shrugged it off to tiredness. The next day in school, after the second class,
She probably told him that either her sister likes him or maybe he likes her twin. And now they're going to be together and date, and then she's going to hate her because of it. And then it's going to be this whole crazy thing. And then I don't really know what the Googling part, though, is about yet. Who knows?
I saw Samantha and my sister talking, but as soon as they saw me, they changed the subject. "All right, what's up with you two? You're acting shady." "Well, promise you won't be mad," Samantha said, looking sheepish. "Oh my God, what did you two do?" I asked. "Listen, we know you have been crushing on Lucas for a while now, and we know you'd never ever do anything about it. So we sort of wrote a note and passed it to him, anonymously, of course." My sister finally blurted out. "You did what?" I asked, shocked. "What did you write in the note? Don't overreact, okay? We might have mentioned that you like him," my sister answered, waiting for my reaction. As if on cue, someone shouted Lucas's name, and we all turned around to see him standing at his locker and staring straight at me. At that moment, I felt like my heart was gonna jump out of my chest. I wanted to murder my sister and my best friend. I was just contemplating all the ways I can kill them when Lucas smiled at me and
Don't have a heart attack? Oh my goodness, I would be so mad if I were her. So mad. I'd be like, why did you do this to me? I would have done it, maybe never, but still.
turned towards his friend. "See, I told you it was going to be okay." "Oh my God, Linda, he likes you too." My sister and best friend shrieked excitedly. "Hush, shut up. You guys stop embarrassing me." "So, what's the next move?" Samantha asked. "There's no next move, okay?
Really? Smiling at somebody determines if somebody likes someone? I don't think so. He may think she's pretty, but doesn't mean he actually likes her. Guys, you gotta calm down a little bit, okay? This is why girls are so confused all the time. And boys. Nobody knows how to act anymore.
Getting late for class. Come on, don't be a coward. It's obvious he likes you too. Uh-huh, right, I said, not convinced at all. I refuse to believe that a guy like him would like a girl like me. I wasn't pretty like his cheerleader girlfriends. I wasn't tall or blonde or skinny like them. I was a regular girl and had yet to learn how to do proper makeup. The next day, I avoided him. When the last bell rang, I hurried to the locker to dump my stuff and headed to the journalism room for our next meeting. I had almost reached the door when I heard him. "Hey, Linda, right?" "Yeah." I turned around and almost choked on air. He was standing there, looking at me with a faint smile, and I suddenly didn't know what to do with my hands or my eyes or even myself.
He seems shady to me, okay? Did you see how he broke through that wall like he was the Hulk or something? I don't think this is realistic, and he's gonna be a bad guy. Especially the way he's like, "Hey, Linda." I don't trust him at all.
Lucas. "I know," I blurted out and then instantly cringed. Why on earth am I so awkward in front of him? "So, I was wondering, since prom is just around the corner, would you like to go with me?" He asked me to prom. Lucas asked me to prom. Yes, I screamed, then cleared my throat and looked at him. I mean, sure, that would be cool." "Perfect," Lucas said and whipped out his phone and snapped my picture, surprising me. He handed me his phone and asked for my number. I couldn't believe this was happening. Never in a million years did I think that I would go to prom with Lucas. The next morning, Lucas...
That's weird. Who does that? Who's just like, "Okay, cool, click, 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 click. Now give me your phone number now."
Greeted me at my locker. "There you go, a pretty flower for a pretty girl." He smiled at me and left for his first class. After lunch, I heard him call my name. "Come on, I'll walk you to your next class." The next couple of days were some of the best of my life. Lucas would meet me at my locker every morning and give me a flower. He would walk me to classes and even sit with me during lunch. He was the sweetest. The day it rained, I was left without a ride. I was waiting in the parking lot when Lucas honked on his car. "Come on, Linda, I'll give you a ride home." We ended up getting coffee together before he drove me home. Our friendship was...
I like how it's raining and he's driving a convertible. "Oh, I'm gonna give you a ride home. It's not gonna make any difference than you waiting outside, but it'll get you there quicker. You'll still be soaking wet though."
growing each day, and the closer we got to prom, the more excited I got about it. However, no matter how good he was to me, I couldn't shake off this nagging doubt that he wasn't really interested in me. I was so not his type. But then, it could be my insecurities. My mom's always telling
I have the same nagging doubt she has for her. I'm a little nervous for her, okay? Not gonna lie, a little nervous.
me to be proud of myself and to never undermine my skills and talents. She always said I was beautiful. Then again, she was my mom. She wasn't exactly unbiased. The days leading up to the prom were like a whirlwind. My sister Samantha went shopping for our dresses. We bought accessories for it and planned to get ready all together. It was exciting and exhilarating, and I was so looking forward to it. Even at school, all anyone would ever think about is prom. "We're all meeting up at my house and getting ready together," Samantha announced excitedly. "Okay," I agreed, just as excitedly. "Is that Lucas?" I asked when I saw Lucas entering the cafeteria with the head cheerleader, who was also his ex-girlfriend. Queen Bee of our school. No matter what she wore, she looked like a model. Lucas was laughing at something she said, and she too was smiling, pleased with herself. Samantha and I were still looking up at them when she caught us staring. She started walking our way, and Samantha suddenly stood up. "Hey, Linda, I just remembered that
I don't trust this girl. She's psycho.
the school counselor asked me to visit her during lunch," Samantha said, suddenly standing up. Okay," I replied. I watched Samantha leave, and just as I turned around, I felt something slick and wet on the front of my top. I looked down in horror as the red spaghetti meatballs plastered itself on my clothes. "Whoops," the head cheerleader said, as she delicately set the tray back on the lunch table and walked away. "What on earth?" I said in shock. This is the first time Queen Bee even looked in my direction. Why on earth would she bully me like this? Trying to calm down, I stood up and went to the bathroom. Ugh, I had sauce all over me. A moment later, someone knocked on the door. I went outside to see it was our school principal. "Oh, Mom."
Because you're stealing her man, girl. You messing up in life? Hello, even though it's her ex. These girls are crazy and possessive. I don't understand them.
"Hi, Linda," she said, looking at my clothes. "Go ahead and take a shower. I'll write you a pass. Who did this?" I asked around, but no one would say. "Excellent," The last thing I wanted was to be a tattletale. It was an accident, I said, and slipped away quickly before she could interrogate me further. After I left the showers, I continued with the rest of my classes. However, I couldn't help noticing that something was weird. Everyone was staring at me in a strange way. I looked around and saw my sister. Just as I was starting to walk towards her, she looked at me, closed her locker, and walked away. I looked around for Samantha, but couldn't find her anywhere. She wouldn't even pick up her phone. On my way back home, I couldn't stop thinking about everyone's strange behavior today. What on earth happened that had everyone treating me so strangely? I couldn't even concentrate on editing the article one of the writers had submitted, even though it was an interesting write-up about how none of us can ever hide from the world because of our digital footprints. With a huff, I closed my laptop and picked up my phone.
This is when she's finally hopefully gonna Google herself and see whatever possibly could be.
How much of a digital footprint would I be leaving behind? I wondered out loud and Googled myself. I typed in my name and clicked images. The first few pictures were of other people named Linda around the world. Then there were a few of my own pictures from my social media accounts. Then there were some articles that I had written for the school. As I was scrolling down, one picture caught my attention, and when I looked closer, I gasped in surprise and shock. The picture was of me in the school's communal shower. It was of my back, but it was clearly me. I was posted on a site I didn't know about. What is this? I whispered, numb and shocked. I clicked the link and the site opened up. It was posted from an anonymous ID, so I couldn't tell who it was. I went down to read the comments, and I was horrified to read what each one of them had written. All of them were about my size and how ugly.
That is messed up. Like, who does that to somebody, really? Come on now. Like, I get it, you like him, because I'm sure it was that stupid cheerleader, but, really ruining someone's life just because you're jealous? You need to grow up.
I looked. I hadn't realized I was crying until I saw tears on my cell phone. But then it got worse. There was a particularly harsh comment fat-shaming me, and when I saw who it was, I felt myself shaking. It was Lucas. Not only was he fat-shaming me, but he also wrote, "She's delusional to think she's going to prom with me." There was also a comment from the head cheerleader, Lucas's ex. She had tagged my twin sister and written, "Are you sure she's your sister? I think your mom brought the wrong child home." And my sister had replied, "I know, right?" I felt the floor giving out from under me. My own sister. I think, out of all the comments, this one hurt the most. I noticed something. Most of the comments were from students either in the school's football team or the cheerleading squad. This means Samantha knows of this.
That is messed up. Her own twin is being rude as hell to her. Like, that is super rude. I would be pissed. I'd probably go smack her across the face if I were her.
Too, and she didn't tell me, and she didn't stop them either. I had my insecurities, sure, but I had never thought of myself as ugly. However, to see so many people not only post a picture of me in such a vulnerable state, but also to state that I was ugly convinced me somehow that I must indeed be hideous. How am I ever going to face them again? How am I ever going to leave this house? Suddenly, my room felt too bright, too exposed. I ran out of my room and climbed down the basement. At first, I didn't cry. I was too much in shock and denial for that. Then came the waterworks. I don't think I ever cried this much in my entire life. "I am not hungry," I yelled every time my mom brought me food. "I don't want to talk," I cried whenever someone would try.
She takes a ladder into the basement. Wow, I didn't realize people did that. That's interesting. Aside from how sad this all is, that's just interesting.
Try to ask me what was wrong. "I hate you," I shouted when my sister tried to enter the basement. And then Samantha visited me. "I'm sorry, Linda. Please hear me out." I simply slammed the door on her face. I had realized that she was nothing but a coward and that she'd never stand up to them. Not that I'm the one to talk, hiding in the basement for the past 3 days. Just the thought of Lucas laughing at me with his friends makes me want to hide under a rock forever. On the 7th day, my mom set her foot down and asked me to explain what happened. I told her everything and she listened quietly. When I was done, my mom hugged.
I don't blame her for not liking any of them. I wouldn't like them either. How rude. Especially her sister to say, "I know." Like, that she was, like, brought home wrong. Like, who does that? And then her other best friend, too, she's like, "I had to go to the bathroom," or the counselor's office. Girl, you knew what was happening.
Hugged me tightly. "You are not alone, honey. I'm here with you, and I'll support you no matter what," she said as she kissed my forehead. After being betrayed so blatantly by everyone else, To have my mom say that gave me strength, and I felt like a weight had been lifted off my shoulder. Also, we are not as helpless as you think we are, you know. There are laws against cyberbullying, and there are authorities in place to make sure the perpetrators don't get away with it. But Mom, there are so many of them. We don't even know who took the picture. We don't know, but your sister or Samantha might. It's my job to make sure they tell the truth. Just tell me when you're ready, Linda, and we'll take the next step. After Mom left, the feelings returned once again, but I know I'll have to go to school sooner or later. Minutes after Mom left the basement, someone knocked on the door. I knew who it was even before my twin sister entered the basement. "Leave me alone," I yelled at her. "Linda, please hear me out," my sister cried. Her eyes were red from crying. "So say what you want to say and get out. There's nothing you can say that will make me forgive you." "I know, Linda, I made a huge mistake. I was a coward and I couldn't go against her. She would have kicked me out of the team. But now I know that it shouldn't have mattered." Even though I was curious to know who was really involved in this disgusting act, I was angry at my sister, so I didn't reply. "I know you deserve all your anger, but Linda, I can help you bring those bullies down. You cannot hide in here forever." "Really? All of a sudden you've grown a spine, and you have the audacity to judge me? It's not your picture in the shower that everyone in the school is making fun of," I screamed.
That's messed up. That's your blood, okay? You little cheerleader. Get over it. And if you got kicked off, oh well. Go somewhere else for cheerleading. You don't betray your own sister like that.
"If we report them, no one would be laughing." "Yeah, right. Like I have any proof of who did that," I snapped at her. "Well, you might not, but we have. Samantha and I couldn't stop our captain from posting your picture, but we did record her when she was planning it." She lifted her cell phone and the recording started playing. I looked at my sister in surprise and she smiled. "Let's go." "Where?" "To the school, dummy. We need to report them to the principal." School was already out by the time we got there. "Welcome back, Linda. It's great to see you," our school principal said with a big smile as soon as we entered her office. My mom had already called her earlier and explained everything to her. The principal looked at me kindly and asked me the same thing she asked me the last time I was in school. Who did it? We played the recording for her and she listened carefully. After it was finished, she called the school.
I guess she's half forgiven. Because at least she recorded it, since she was too much of a wuss to stand up to her.
Security and asked to see the tape outside the showers. We watched it all together as I could be seen entering the shower, and a few seconds later, one of the cheerleaders entered after me. She was the same girl Lucas's ex had been talking to in the recording. The next morning, the site was taken down and my picture removed. We all moved into the school's gymnasium where our principal announced the suspension of all those who commented on the picture. And then she announced the expulsion of Lucas's ex and her friend. I watched Lucas look towards the principal in shock and Lucas's ex crying loudly. I didn't feel happy at all, only sorry for them. But I was glad I took a stand so that they never dare to repeat their actions.
Okay, well, that was interesting. I would be pissed if I was her. I'd be like, oh, hell to the no, girl. Suspend them all, expel them all. I don't care. Expel them all is what I'd be like. Not just suspension, expulsion. More dramatic. And yeah, that toxicness hopefully doesn't happen anymore. But your own sister going against you, that is messed up. I'm sorry, like that's probably the worst thing out of all of it, really. Like the fact that she like agreed and like didn't do anything, but like obviously it's good she recorded it, but still she let it all happen. Didn't even have to happen in the first place. That's just crazy to me. Anyways, what do you guys think? Comment below. Do you think her sister should have said something and stood up for her, or do you think like what she did was okay? I don't think it was okay at all. I would be so mad at my sister. I would like be like, no girl, I don't want to do anything with you ever again. How dare you? But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you would like to, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye guys!